My name is Diogenes, and I'm a member of Fireshell team from Brazil. And this weekend we played the CTF Securinets, and we had some interesting questions there. And I'm going to do a write-up on a video of how I've done the end of the Empire 2 question. So I downloaded the game already to my computer and changed some things. But you can download the game using this command here. So I'm going to put that on the description so you can see how download to your old computer and change that code. So let's see how the game works. So if you played Agario, so basically you have to eat these balls to get bigger and and you don't try to get eaten by by bigger players. So this is basically what happens on this game. So the end of the Empire 2 uses the same idea. So here you can see all the games. So there's the Emperor and the Killer. There are some guards here. A lot of enemies, and you start really small comparing to the other characters, and you started surrounded by bigger characters, so you have a big problem to start. So if you try to play the game manually, I'm going to do that so you can see it working. So if you click on intro, it's going to scroll down through all the cities and all the enemies, and you can see a bigger uh, barrier of guards here. And if I try to start, so I'm this small character here, and I'm surrounded by bigger and some bigger characters here, and here there are some smaller. So you have like smaller enemies, and you can start by trying to get these ones. This one here's the smaller couriers. So if I try to start, so this game have this bug, and sometimes just let me start again. So they just going to get you uh, on the first second of the game, and your character revive in 10 seconds. So if you could see here, my character was trying to get down. And there's a important thing to note. If you see the enemies, they don't collide with each other. Like they do sometimes, but they don't try to do that. So that's the first thing that I noted to solve this problem. And so let's change the code to see uh, what we can do to change the dynamic of the game. So my first thought was to so let me show how it works. So there is a game, a class game, and in this class there are a lot of arrays, and these arrays they hold the state of the game. So for example, on follower X, I have an array with if you log that on your console, you can see 122, I think, um, items on that array, and every item holds the X state of the correspondent enemy. So the enemies are identified by index. So for example, the first item of this array is my O character. So the 0 is my character, and after that, all the other indexes are from enemies. So in follower Y array, you can see all the Y positions, and this is important array to get noted because this is the array that hold the size of the followers. So, for example, your character starts with 20 of size. If you inspect element of the enemy, for example, this one, let me get this one. You can see top, left, this is the position on the canvas. And you can see width and height here, so it's 250. So that's the current size. So for example, this one, oh, so this is the enemy. So after some time, the enemy just grows bigger and bigger and bigger. And you can see here they have like 17 thousand of size. So you need to do that automatically. If you try to play this game manually, you can't beat them. So I'm just so I found there are a lot of functions here, but they maybe you could finish this test doing another way. My first thought was to change the size of my character, like to put bigger than enemy than all the enemies, but this didn't work because I think the server is doing the check as well, so you couldn't change on the client, like try to change the state of the your character because it's being respawned every time. So for example, when I click on start, let me see here. So when I click on the start button, see here, there's a loop happening on the game. So there's a set interval, and this function is being run is being called every 100 milliseconds. So we get the state of the game. You can see the game being redraw. Uh, so this is another important array of the game. So follower state is being used to see who was eaten or not, because when this is 1, the character stays on the game, and if it's 0, this is changed to like the character are not being shown on the game anymore. So you can see a check here. So this is what being compared to see if the character is on the game. So what I had to hack to change the dynamic of the game, it was here. So as I showed it to you earlier, the enemies don't collide with each other. So this loop happening here. Uh, so this loop is happening to all the characters of the game. And the second loop is comparing. So you can see the loop is on the size of the followers. So followers is the all the players of the game. And when we have a outer player here we are checking with every player of the game on this loop. Um, and you can see some math being done here. So for example, um, if the follower size, so if the player of the outer loop have the size greater than the player inside the loop, uh, we are just going to follow, I think, the character, but and if we have the follower size less smaller than the bigger one on beginning, we just try to move away. So they are being constant uh, played to, let's see how they behave. So if you can see, they try to stay away from each other. So you can see the smaller characters trying to get away. You can see they don't try to collide with each other. So that's what I use it to hack the solution. So for example, let me just change that here. Change the comparison so you can see how the dynamic changes. So like they are all trying to get to the bigger character next to them and just grows bigger. So I use this technique to hack the game. So I'm just going to remove the outer loop, and I'm going to compare all the characters against my character. So let's do that. So first, I have to change the outer loop to start with 1 because 0 is the index of my character. And we don't need to check that. Actually, we just need to check the follower state, and we use, oh, this is being checked here already, so we don't need to have this code here. So I'm just going to put blank lines, and you can see the important lines being used. So so this J here, I'm going to use 0 because this is my character. So my solution was to make all the bigger characters, all the smaller characters, they might follow me, and the bigger characters run away from me. So let's try. Let's start with only the smaller characters following me. So let's play the game and see what happens. So you can see, oh, you see, right? All the smaller characters are trying to get next to me, but I have this barrier, so I can't get the smaller character next to me. So let's try to do that another way. So right now I'm going to show you um, if the enemy size is bigger than mine, I'm going to make them run away from me. So let's do that. So actually, this didn't work. Let me see why. Oh, so there is a skip AJ. So this variable doesn't exist. Let's try again. So you see, right? All the bigger characters, they are moving away from me. If I go here, they move away. So they will just try to stay away from me. Oh, I'm going to try to get the smaller one, but this is not the solution. Try to do that manually. So what I'm going to do is to um, put together these two behaviors that I showed before. Is let's see what happens. Also, now the bigger characters are going to try to get me, but so you can see some are going to collide here, and they are going to collide with each other. But even with that, I can get all of them. So you can see all the. So this comparison is being run every time, and like every um, 100 milliseconds. So every time I eat a smaller character, they are going to come towards me if they are smaller. So you can see this the score being increased, and while this code is being run, I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to show you how the flag is being called. So my first thought my second thought actually, was to call this get flag function to see if I could get the flag directly without changing a lot of code. But if you try to call this function, so this is where the socket sends back the information to you. Um, I think the server maintains this state on its side, so you cannot try to get this without changing the game because they will check if you really have this score. So I changed the denominator of the game to really get the flag. So it's too much soon. So if you can see here, my character still grows, and all the enemies are coming towards me, and some characters that doesn't have the icon here because I didn't download, but you can see uh, the outlines. So after some time, I need to beat this score here. I thought I would need to beat this score, but what really happens is the game only ends when I get the enemy of the Emperor. So you can see it's almost 7,000 and stay bigger. You don't even need to move the character, they will just come towards you. You can see after we hit the center of the circle, we'll hit them. So we got Emperor, yeah, and now we need to get the enemy of the Emperor. And they are coming towards me because we are doing that check. We're doing the check here. So we ate the Emperor. So after some time, you're going to receive the flag. Sockets should be secure revenge. And that's how we solve this question. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.